Open three is good.
Shot towards the goal. Oh, Christopher.
Nice.
Tough shooting, he scored.
Hello and welcome to our first Sports Jam of the spring season. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. Games are getting started in all sports now as we get through that winter season and into the spring.
We're going to start with prep baseball. The Metro West Conference features some good baseball teams. Benilde St. Margaret's qualified for the state Class 3A tournament last season. And last week they met a Cooper team looking for its first win of the young season. Benilde trying to start the season 2-0. And they break a scoreless tie in the third inning. Matt Murnane flares a single to left field. Ball doesn't really get any roll, and Clyde Selke takes advantage. He comes in from second base to score on the play, and it's 1-0 Red Knights. Next up is Peyton James, and he drives a single to right center field. Kyle Klacko and Murnane both score, and it's a 3-0 game. A couple of batters later, Derek Dries singles to left field. Henry Wolf comes in to score. Benilde is a 5-run inning, and it's 5-0 through 3. Trailing 6-0 in the fourth, Cooper strings some hits together. Josh Gabrick at the plate, and he gets a sharp single to right field. Thomas Hall comes in to score. The Hawks score 3 in the inning. But the Red Knights, with a couple of runs in the fifth, Braden Fitzgerald, a little dribbler in front of the plate. The Hawks will get the out at first base, but Dries dashes home from third to score. Benilde scores 2 runs in both the fifth and sixth innings. Red Knights beat the Hawks 10-5.
Armstrong and Hopkins hope to be contenders in Section 6 4A baseball. They met in the rain in a non-conference matchup last week. This one at Hopkins as the Falcons tried to improve to 3-0. Bottom of the first, 2 on, and Morgan Holmes gets a hold of one and drives it deep to left. It's gone. A 3-run homer for Holmes, and it puts the Royals ahead 3-0 after 1. Same score in the third inning, and Armstrong's Braden Gray tags one to deep left center field. It's off the fence for extra bases. Al Proctor comes home to get the Falcons on the scoreboard. Next batter is Preston Reed, and he rips a liner to nearly the same spot to the gap in left center. The Falcons pull within a run at 3-2. Ahead to the bottom of the fourth with Hopkins ahead 5-3. The Royals' Wyatt Nelson hits one hard to shortstop, and it's bobbled. A tough play there in the rainy day. Ben Wallin scores. They had one more in the inning to lead 7-3 through 4. The Falcons score single runs in the fifth, sixth, and here in the seventh. Dawson D's grounder brings Reed around from second base to score, but that's as close as the Falcons get as the Royals hang on to win 7-6.
Prior to that game, the elements weren't a concern for the Royals when they faced defending state Class 4A champion Wayzata. U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, the site. It's first season for baseball. Top of the first inning, Wayzata's Chad Musser launching one deep to right field. It's off the purple wall for extra bases. Jack Rothstein scores, and it's 1-0 Trojans. Bottom of the third, the Royals with runners at second and third. Will Ober gets the strikeout to end the frame. Top of the fifth, Hopkins trying to work a rundown between second and third. Charles Engdahl zips home. He's safe for a 2-0 Trojans lead. Matt Bolke works the final 3 innings for Wayzata and preserves the shutout. Trojans savor a 4-0 victory and a chance to play at U.S. Bank Stadium.
Ever since we found out, I think late last summer, it was definitely something we were looking forward to. Opening day and all you're looking forward to, but it's definitely cool to be here. Great facilities, and it was a lot of fun.
Champlin Park was runner-up to Wayzata in the state tournament last season, while Maple Grove also made the final 8 in Class 4A. The Rebels met up with the Crimson in the Northwest Suburban Conference opener for both. Champlin Park's Cole Albers connects in the top of the first. He drives it over the fence and left for a solo homer, and it gives the Rebels an early advantage. They're not done. 2 batters later, Joey Simon singles to left, and it'll get past left fielder Curtis Haugen. Quinn Victoria, who doubled, scores for a 2-0 Champlin Park lead. Rebels starter Max Loven is perfect through 3 innings. He gets a strikeout here, 1 of 10 for him on the afternoon. In the fourth inning, though, Maple Grove breaks through as Luke Hansen singles to right to score Hayden Thompson after Thompson doubled, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Same score and nail-biting time in the bottom of the 7th. The Crimson load the bases, but reliever Brady Higgins gets the final out via the strikeout. Champlain Park wins 2-1 over Maple Grove. Not too bad a game for the very first week of the season there, Ken.
No, really a good start. Switching sports, the first state boys tennis rankings are out for the spring. Blake and Breck, no surprise, ranked first and second in Class A, with several individuals from those teams among the state's best players. And in Class AA, Wayzata is ranked 6th. Minnetonka ranked number 1 in 2A to start. Stay tuned. Coming up, some early season softball highlights, plus season previews on a handful of local squads when Sports Jam returns.
Welcome back to Sports Jam, and time to talk softball.
The Osseo Orioles have a busy week this week after beating Mahtomedi in their season opener. They started Northwest Suburban Conference play last week. The Orioles at home against Blaine. Top of the first inning, Blaine's Taylor Bross with a line drive to the gap. It scores 2. Blaine gets 5 total in the frame for a quick lead. Osseo chips away at the bottom of the first. Lane Ruska drops in a hit to score Andrea Denslake. Then Caitlin Schulte's base hit up the middle scores Amanda Fashing, cutting the lead to 5-2. Osseo adds another in the third on a 2-out single by Saray Trace that plates Ruska. And it's all Bengals from there, though. In the top of the 5th inning, Ramsey Parent slices a hit the other way. Lauren Nelson hustles around for an 8-3 lead. Mallory Stone comes on to close in the 7th and strikes out the side. Blaine wins this game 10-3.
The Maple Grove and Totino Grace softball teams each lost in section final games a season ago. The Crimson and Eagles met up in the rain last week. Special t-shirts worn by both teams to honor Maple Grove shortstop Aaron Roll's father, who died of brain cancer last year. Scoreless into the 4th inning, Grace's Sarah Waslow knocks it up the middle. They knock it down but have no play, and Maddie Brunn scores for the Eagles. Next batter is Lexi Raditich, and she smacks a single to right for Grace. Bree Glynn scores, and it's 2-0 Totino Grace. Still in the 4th inning, Eagles pitcher Aaron Pepping hits a little flare to left that drops in to score another run. It's 4-0 Eagles after 4 innings of play. The rain comes down harder later in the game, and Brunn singles into left center to bring Pepping around, and it is 6-0 Eagles. And they tack on a couple of more. Raditich lines another base hit to left center. The Crimson get a runner in a rundown on this play, but 2 runs do score. The Eagles win big 9-1 in their season opener. They also played in a tournament in the Maranatha tournament at Zane Sports Park. Wayzata's boys track and field team won the State High School League meet for a 2nd straight season last June. The Trojans got off to a good start in an early season meet last week. Wayzata won the Eden Prairie meet featuring Lake Conference schools and a handful of others. The Trojans scored 117 points, 6 ahead of runner-up Edina. Eden Prairie finishes 3rd with Chanhassen in 4th. Hopkins is 8th. The Wayzata boys host a true team quad meet this Friday. In the girls meet at Eden Prairie, Wayzata wins it with 120 points, 6 ahead of Minnetonka. Chanhassen places in 3rd place and Edina 4th. Hopkins places 5th of 9 teams. The big Hamlin Elite Meet is coming up April 28th at Hamlin.
November and February are big months for high school athletes going on to play college athletics. That's when the early signing dates are for national letters of intent in various sports. Last Wednesday marked another of the NCAA signing day. In Maple Grove High School, 4 athletes signed their letters of intent, all with Division I collegiate programs. Hockey goalie Brianna Blessy is headed to the University of Wisconsin to play for the Badgers. Sam Huff, who played in this year's state hockey tournament, is signed with the University of Minnesota. Parker Brown is a swimmer who swam club this year. He signed with South Dakota State. And Alex Miley, one of the state's top distance runners, is headed for Duke University for cross country. Here's what the 4 had to say about their schools and about the day.
I'm really pumped and excited. I mean, the support with my friends and family have been great through these years, but I'm excited for the future and what's to come. And I I mean, I'm going to miss my family being in North Carolina, but I'm excited for what the opportunities are in store for the future.
I mean, obviously that's every Minnesota kid's dream is getting that call from that coaching staff, and when that day came and that kind of came across my mind and came across the table as a legit possibility. It's something I strongly considered, and it wasn't a very tough decision to wear the maroon and gold.
The school has a very good engineering program, which is what I want to get into, so that kind of drew my attention toward the school. And then once I found out they actually had a men's swim team, it really made me want to go there a little bit more. And then after I started looking at some other schools, I realized South Dakota State is a really good fit for me. So that's where I ended up.
Things that I like about it, the program is amazing. Like all the girls, they're so nice. The school, the campus, it's like one of my dreams, and I don't know, it's still, I can't believe it.
Wayzata High School held a ceremony last week as well. Ben Gross signed with the University of Connecticut for track and field, while Natalie Stein earned a scholarship at Minnesota for women's rowing. So congratulations to them. Very impressive group. We wish them all well.
Yeah, they've certainly created a lot of great high school memories in their respective programs, and we enjoyed watching them certainly too. Next up, season previews of a handful of local baseball and softball teams that you may have missed. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Jam, and obviously spring breaks fall at different times for various school districts, so we ran a lot of spring preview stories, and we know that you may have missed some of them, so we'll take a look at some of them here. Here's the Champlin Park baseball team. Though the end result wasn't what they were hoping for, championship game loss aside, last spring was a very special one for the Champlin Park baseball program.
For the younger kids too, it's something to work for. Seeing our success last year, I think we were 24-3 or whatever. Best in school history, so it's a lot to work for. It's good motivation.
It brings a lot because we know what it takes now to get there, and we know how hard we have to work, and we feel like we can do that again.
You get caught up in the game, and you're really focused on what's going on in front of you, and so it was fun to go home at night and my wife tell me about how many people were at the game and there to support the boys, and so to see the community come out. There's been definitely a change in culture in the community as it pertains to baseball here in the area, but also just immediately with our program.
It'll be a mostly new lineup this spring for the Rebels. Just 2 regular starters return, but they are good ones. Shortstop pitcher Cole Albers, who is one of the best players in the Northwest Suburban Conference, and outfielder Zach Loven. The rest of the guys will be stepping into new or expanded roles this season.
I think we'll have strong pitching. We have a lot of arms. It seems like defensively we should be strong. To be honest, I'm not sure how our bats will be, as we're losing a lot of good hitters from last year.
I'm very confident in the new guys. We have 2 sophomores. 5 or 6 juniors, I think, so they'll have to come in, step up, make some plays, but I'm throughout tryouts and our first few practices, I'm very confident in them.
We've got a few seniors. We got about 5 or 6 seniors. We've got 5 or 6 juniors, and we actually have a couple of sophomores that are up with us right now too that we're pretty excited about. Both of them are pitchers and can play a couple other positions as well. So.
The Rebels may struggle to match last year's 24-4 record, but the hope is that this will be a team that can contend for a section title when the playoffs roll around. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports. The Rebels opened with impressive wins over Minnetonka and that Maple Grove game before losing to Rogers. They also beat Coon Rapids and enter this week with a 3-1 record.
The Park Center baseball team had some good athletes this spring, but for the Pirates to get better, they'll have to play smart baseball. Jason Malillo explains.
Park Center won just 4 games last season, but head coach Nathan Johnson says there's a lot to build on.
What we found is we are in a lot of close games. We lost either 1-0 to Champlin Park that played in the state championship game, and that was an unearned run. We lost to Coon Rapids, traditionally a really good program, 2-0, 2 unearned runs. So it's really just continuing that solid pitching, good defense, but kind of adding some timely hitting, getting guys on base.
Another key for the Bucks will be staying focused for all 7 innings. They struggled with that last season, especially in some of those close losses.
I think it's just a mental barrier that we have to find a way to get through. I know we have talent here, and all of us are capable of doing good things on the field. It's just a matter of clearing our minds mentally, being able to go out here and execute every day.
I think we just have to learn how, when we have those tight games, got to learn how to win them, because that's something we struggle with. Just got to work on getting tougher and know what to do in tight situations.
On the mound, Park Center will be young, but should have a solid rotation. At the plate, the Pirates won't have a lot of power, so they'll have to be smart on the bases and manufacture runs.
We might have to, do creative things on the bases, put guys in action, maybe bunt a little bit more than maybe we'd like, but yet still be careful to not take away from a big inning.
As long as we can play small ball, get a few hits here and there, and maybe throw in a couple doubles, triples, we'll get things going from there.
Jason Melillo, CCX Sports.
The Pirates won their opener over St. Louis Park, but lost the next two on the schedule. They face district rivals Osseo and Maple Grove this week. We'll be right back.
Hopkins was the lone softball team from our area to reach the state tournament last season. They should be even better this year. The Hopkins Royals beat Armstrong in the Section 6 4A championship round last season to advance to the state tournament, where they won their first game. It's a feeling they'd like to experience again.
Hopkins hadn't been to the state tournament in a few years, so this team had never witnessed that before, and so everyone kind of is motivated to go back and to see that again.
We definitely peaked at the right time last year. Yeah, we just all came together, and our hitting really came together at the end of last year.
The Royals lost just one key performer from that team and return a good group. Strong-armed shortstop Natalie Den Hartog is one of the area's best players. Pitcher first baseman Mackenzie Merritt, third baseman Hannah Kleist, second baseman Kirsten Magard, and catcher Zoe Jeske are among the top veteran players. It's a team with a number of weapons.
We did a lot of work in the off season on our own times, like before school we'd hit or just work on like different positions that we need to have filled in this season. So far our practices have been going a lot better than where we were at last year.
We're actually excited. We have a strong experience base. Our tri-captains will be contributing a great deal, and we're pretty excited. We think we're going to be able to hit the ball. We've got some pitching, and defense is going to be strong, so looking forward to a good year.
Hopkins was a young up-and-coming team last season. With a lot of seniors, they'll try to go out in style this spring. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports. The Royals do enter this week with an unbeaten record. They should get a couple of good tests, though, as they face Edina and Maple Grove.
The Totino Gray softball team reached the Section 4 3A championship game last spring, losing in the final. A veteran Eagles team hasn't forgotten that game as they get ready for a new season.
It was a tough way to end a season. Totino Grace's 12-inning loss to Montevita last spring sent the Zephyrs to state and the Eagles home.
It was a heartbreaker for most of us. That was supposed to kind of be our big year, and so I think this year we're going to come back and we kind of have the fire in us to just go all the way.
We're like pretty much the same team. We lost 3 seniors last year, so like that definitely fuels us. And that game, like we couldn't hit, so if we like make 1 or 2 more hits, we won the game.
The Eagles have the talent to go at least as far this season. Pitcher Aaron Pepping has signed with Eastern Carolina and is healthy after a shoulder injury slowed her last spring. Among the other returners are outfielders Maddie Braun and Maddie Doran, infielder-outfielder Lexi Raditich, and infielders Ella Ebensteiner and Lauren Scheneman. This much returning varsity experience helps.
You've been by each other like through a whole season, and you can just kind of know what to expect, and you know how each other play, and so you can feel more comfortable with each other.
The kids kind of know what I expect, and I know what they wanted out of me as a coach and things like that. So it's worked out well because I've had a lot of kids for 2 or 3 years.
The Eagles say pitching and defense will be the strengths of this team. While getting to state is the ultimate goal, the Eagles say they want to compete better within the Northwest Suburban Conference as well.
I know we can win it, but I want to be in the top half. I mean, it's going to get us better for section play because we're not going to see the dominating pitching in our section like we're seeing in our conference. So that's going to help us in the long run.
A mild winter has helped all teams get out earlier than in most years. The Eagles hope to still be playing in late spring, too. In Fridley, John Jacobson, CCX Sports.
And as you saw earlier in the program, Totino Gray scored a big Northwest Suburban Conference win early in the year against Maple Grove. Well, a new coach will lead the Wayzata Trojans softball team this spring. Kelsey Anderson, who was an assistant at Egan High School last season after wrapping up her collegiate career at Bethel, takes over for Amber Hagelin. Anderson grew up playing in the Burnsville program. She's excited about what she sees with Wayzata.
I think this year we have a lot of versatility throughout the girls, and it's been really, really cool to get to know them and their style. We have speed, we have power, we have everything that we need. So I think this year will be a really, really good year, a really good breakout year for the Wayzata softball team.
The Trojans have a handful of players back from a team that won 8 games overall and placed 4th in the 5-team Lake Conference. Wayzata won 2 playoff games. It's a new start, and the players are eager to show their potential to the new coaches.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this season. I think we're going to do really well. So far, we've all been working really well together, and everything seems good.
I couldn't have imagined any better new coach coming in and taking on this big, awesome group of girls. And yeah, I think we really meshed, and I'm very excited for this season.
The Trojans lost their season opener to Lake Conference rival Hopkins, a new varsity game field that's expected to be ready for use next season. We'll be back to wrap up Sports Jam after this timeout.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. You can learn about the latest news through our truly local newscast. We cover and air around 150 high school sporting events every year. For our cities, we air parades and city meetings that you can watch whenever you want. Then, any citizen of our cities can create and share their own original content. We'll even teach you how to use the equipment too. We have always provided you with a connected community experience. And as life gets busier than ever, we will continue to engage, inform, and inspire through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
The annual Maple Grove Mayor's Prayer Breakfast is coming up Thursday, May 11th at the Rush Creek Golf Course. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under Cities and in the Community.
Golf courses are starting to green up now, and high school teams are getting started with their seasons. The Champlain Park girls are looking for a good year. The Rebels return one of their 2 state entrants from last season, Megan Munieke. She placed 30th at state as a sophomore. All-conference player Emily Schwartz also returns for the Rebels. Champlain Park was 2nd in the Northwest Suburban Conference tournament and in Section 5 3A last season, and lost just 1 golfer from that team. This could be a pretty good team as the players get their swings back in order.
The only varsity player that we lost last year was Taylor Minger. She was our number 1 and great player. So now she's playing at Briarcliff in Iowa. So yeah, but the whole rest of the team is back. So I'm excited for this season.
I think our goal is ultimately the state tournament. We were close last year, so we're hungry for it again this year.
I am optimistic. We have more girls out. Our new girls have a lot of talent. We lost Taylor Minger, who was on our team for 5 years, state tournament for 4 years. So we certainly miss her. The new talent is great. We have Megan Munieke back, and we have 4 other letter winners back.
It wasn't the warmest day when we caught up with the Rebels. It's a fact of life for Minnesota golfers, though. Dealing with April conditions is part of being a high school player in the area.
Coach Askew is not one for excuses. She's definitely into golfing whenever, wherever. So in matches, it can be cold and rainy or whatever too. So it's good to be out here and practicing it.
And the Rebels will get started with their Northwest Suburban Conference season very soon.
Our game of the week is a rivalry matchup in boys lacrosse as Champlain Park hosts Anoka. The game is Friday night at 7 o'clock. Watch it live via live stream through our website, ccxmedia.org. Catch the TV replays on channels 12 and 799 Saturday afternoon at 1 or Saturday night at 10. And catch it Sunday morning at 7 or Sunday evening at 7 p.m.
And that will do it for this week's show.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on Sports Jam.
The annual Maple Grove Mayor's Prayer Breakfast is coming up Thursday, May 11th at the Rush Creek Golf Course. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under Cities and in the Community.